everybody, it's Emily. This week we are making Katsu Pirozhki from Yuri on ice. First thing to do, get some rice on to cook, and let's get started on the bread. You're going to need flour, milk, an egg, yeast, salt, and sugar, and we're going to get working on the yeast part first. So you need a half a cup of milk, put that into the microwave about 10 to 20 seconds until it's warm, but not warm enough to burn you. Then put in your sugar and finally your yeast, whisk all that through, and then you're going to set it, just leave it where it is to foam up. You want to let the yeast develop. That takes about 10 minutes or so. So when it's all foamy like that and fluffy looking, that means we're good to go. We're going to get the rest of the ingredients started. So the rest of your milk, butter, an egg, salt, and then the yeasty concoction. You're going to mix that all up together, and then we'll start adding our flour in cup by cup. So the first cup goes in, and then you mix it through, second cup, etc. When it's mostly incorporated, you can turn it out and just knead it a couple times so that it's not sticky anymore. Put that in a bowl with a damp towel over top, and then put that someplace warm to rise, about an hour. Now let's get working on the katsu. You want to take your pork chop and cut it in half. We don't want them to be super thick. Just trust me. So thinner is better here, and you want to salt and pepper both sides so that it's not flavorless. Now we're going to do the breading. So you do the flour first, then the egg, and then the panko. And if you want, you can do the egg and panko again so that it's super crispy, but it's up to you. Then when that's all ready to go, you want to put it into the oil, which should be heated up to about 350 degrees, and maybe use tongs. That's where I burned my finger. You just couldn't hear it because the sound was off. So flip occasionally, and when it's all golden brown looking, you should be good to go. Go ahead and take that out, put it on a paper towel, and we'll get started on the eggs. So you want to crack 4 eggs into a pan. The heat doesn't need to be on at this point. Add in your mirin, your soy sauce, and your salt, and just whisk all of that together, and then turn the heat on. And now you're basically making scrambled eggs. When it's at a soft scramble, add in your peas, and then you want to let it get to kind of a hard, dry scramble. You don't want it to be too wet. And now take your bread out of wherever it was rising, and you want to turn it out onto a floured surface. It's going to be a little bit sticky, so knead it a little bit until it's not sticky anymore, and then divide it into 6 pieces and form those 6 pieces into little balls, dough balls, so that they're ready to go when you want to use them. You can set those aside, and for now you need a sheet of plastic wrap and that rice. Spread the rice out in a thin layer. Thin is key here. Then put the egg on top, then the katsu, and repeat in backwards order, so egg and then rice. And using the plastic wrap, wrap everything together and compress it really tightly. You can unwrap and fill in any blank spaces and then compress again. And when it's nice and compact, get out a little circle of bread dough and spread it out between your hands. If you get any tears, you can just pinch them back together. And then lay that over your little rice package and wrap everything together and set aside on some baking paper. When everything is ready to go, you want to get an egg yolk and a little bit of water, mix it together, and just brush the outside of the bread. With that, it'll produce a nice golden brown crust, just like that. And these are so delicious. Good work, Grandpa Plisetsky. 100% worth it. Very filling though, but I hope you can give them a try.